joining us, guys. Start with the opening statement from Coach Brennan, and then we'll take questions. Coach.
All right, it's good to see you all. Happy New Year. It's been a great month of December for us. I hope everybody had a great Christmas holiday. It was awesome to see, the Snoop Dogg Bowl get pulled off the way it did. Good crowd, good vibe. Just all that stuff was just a really great day here in Casino del Sol Stadium. I thought that was really, really great. What a great ambassador he is for the game too. I don't know how I'd feel about him coming on the field to catch a kick in the middle of the game, but just really, really awesome to see. So many people put so much work into that thing, and to see it be a success like it was really, really cool. Our guys are back. We've had a good couple days here. We're excited to jump on this plane this afternoon and get down to San Diego and continue our preparation, continue our work, playing against a really good football team on Friday night. And so our players have been great so far. They've been really, really intentional, which is exciting. And I'm excited to see, what we can do against SMU Friday. So it's been a great month, a lot of good work. And now we're finally in game week and kind of really get geared up and excited to play. Obviously, there's a lot of really neat stuff that goes along with the Holiday Bowl, and we're excited about that too. But for us, the biggest thing is the game. And that's where our hearts and our heads are at.
Thank you, Coach. I'm going to let you three guys just fire away questions.
Well, just fire all at the same time. Just go ahead.
Considering it's been, it's already been more than 3 weeks since you found out that you were playing this game, and you have to balance that, rest time and the preparation, all that. Is there like a certain level of antsiness where you're like, let's just get to the game already?
Yeah, I think everybody feels that way. It's kind of like how you feel at the end of training camp. It's been a month of practice and just beating each other up, and you're excited to play against an opponent. And obviously, we're playing against a really good team. We got, it's a big-time game. It's a big-time bowl game, national TV, all that fun stuff that comes with it. So there is a lot of excitement and anticipation for it.
In your experience, is long layoff difficult to deal with? Is it more beneficial than harmful?
I think it just depends on how you choose to look at it. If you have to play quick, then you're like, oh, I wish we had more time. We wish we had more time to develop our players. If you're on the plan that we're on, you're like, well, let's just play the game already. So I think it just depends on how you look at it. For us, this has been a great month. A lot of young players in our program, a lot of guys getting opportunities to run around and really get coached. And, that part of it was just, I thought, really beneficial for us. I think, that's the reality of, in my opinion, it's a huge component of why great programs are consistently good, is because they just get that extra block of spring practice for the bowl game. And, we talked to all kinds of head coaches and other staffs about the best plan for that. And I think we did a good job of walking the fine line between it being too much practice and just beating the hell out of each other for a month straight, but also like getting really good intentional physical work done. So I think we did a nice job with that.
Did you have a layoff as long as this when you were at San Jose?
No.
How many practices will you have had?
Oh, that's a good question. 13 total, is that what we said? I think that's,
Fresno State coach called that winter camp, like a winter ball, kind of like spring ball, fall.
Yeah, that's why I got to meet him the day before they played, or maybe 2 days before they played. But everyone's like, what are you doing in the office on Christmas Day? Like, that's what coaches do. But he was great, and we did talk about that because he had the experience in the FCS playoffs, right? So it was interesting to hear his perspective. He was just we were both talking about the time and the duration, and then how many practice opportunities and trying to get the most out of your team without making it miserable for them. So hopefully we struck a good balance there.
And you'll have 2 practices in San Diego?
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
And how do you balance that with all the fun that is supposed to be associated with this, with SeaWorld and those kind of things, and not let that distract the players?
No, that's a great question, right? Because this is way different than any road game that you play because of the festivities and all that stuff. I really think that bowl games are special, and the things that the whole Holiday Bowl is going to do for our team is something that they should enjoy, and it should be something that should be really special for them. I think any of us that have played in bowl games or coached in bowl games, you remember all those parts of it the rest of your life. You know what I mean? You might not remember, a road trip to wherever, in the middle of October, but you remember the bowl experience. And so I want our players to enjoy it. I want them to have a great time. I want them to, then when it's time for football, I want us to be locked in, and I want us to get after it in the practice environment and then be ready to play Friday night. So, in this moment, I want it all.
You had indicated that you might have some more information about opt-outs and so forth after Christmas.
So far, it's been good. So far it's been good. Yeah, you never know, right? That's the world we live in right now. Players went home for 3.5, 4 days. And so the conversations that they're having when they're away from the facility, away from their teammates, you just don't know what they are, right? And I think all those decisions are really personal and family decisions. And I want to be respectful of that. And I want to be respectful of all those kids' process, So, as we look at that stuff, our guys have done a nice job with it. And, I'm sure Coach Lashley and SMU would love to know where we're at with that. But, they can find out Friday night.
You had said that the freshmen who are arriving mid-year won't be practicing with you, but are any of them accompanying you? Are they
No.
on the trip or anything like that? No. Okay, so you'll start up with them after you get back.
Yeah, when we get back.
What about the players who have publicly made their intentions to transfer?
Yeah.
Are any of them still with the team and coming with you on this trip?
I think B. Locke is just the only one really who's going to be, ready to play.
Okay.
Yeah.
The new calendar that they established with the portal, has it changed anything? Is it helping at all?
Well, I think, the way that you don't know how it's going to help is that what will it feel like after spring practice? To me, that portal was always the most, I don't know what the right word for it.
Unnecessary.
Well, no, but I think it was just the most disappointing or challenging because a couple things. Number one, you could have brought a player in December. You could have paid him a bunch of money, and then he can leave after 4 months in your program, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, what a bad investment that was. And you're trying to make great decisions with how you spend the rev share and how you do that, but you got to make sure there's no way to be 1,000% on it, right? And so, and then I also think there's also those situations where everyone else goes through spring practice and feels like, well, we have a need at this point, at this position, and then they say like, well, where is a good player at that position? And then let's go backdoor and find a way to get to him and agents and so then it gets a little bit complicated. So I like the idea of the single portal. Where it's at is fine with me. If they want to move it, that's fine, whatever, just as long as we know what we have for a year. And so I like the idea of us being, kind of mostly through the portal as we get into February, because we're going to have a chance to build the chemistry, build the culture, and build the team. And I think that's one of those things that's going to be very, very important for Arizona football. We're going to have to build great teams here, right? And so as we do that, we're going to need time with those players here on task and together and putting in the work together and going through all the tough stuff together. And so I like it.
Have you had the ability to do kind of advanced work on portal with just the public announcements to where on the second when they can officially be in there that you'd already start contacting even though it's game day?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
In regards to this with spring and all that, do you anticipate there might be some players, not necessarily your own, but just in general, that go into the portal but don't sign until after spring ball?
Yeah, sure. I think that's possible, and then kind of, leave at the end of the school year. Like I think that's possible.
You may know this already, or you may find out soon. But do you feel like the reception among players in the portal will be more positive toward Arizona coming off of a 9 or 10 win season?
I think that helps. Yeah, I think naturally that helps. I think, we've played an exciting brand of football in all 3 phases this year. It's been fun to watch. I think we have some really outstanding players returning, so I think there'll be some people that are excited to play with those guys. But I also think we have a great recruiting staff. You know what I mean? Like, I think you have your general manager, like you have people that work in that recruiting room, but our coaches are gangster recruiters now. Like, we're good at it. That's one of those things where, if you think about this team this year, that team was built off a 4-8 record. You know what I mean? Like, we did a great job of identification and then actually recruiting those players and getting them excited about playing football at Arizona. And so I feel really great about the combination of the new hires we made in recruiting, along with our coaching staff and our evaluation process, and then also our recruiting process to acquire players that we think can help us level up, help us continue to build a sustainable, consistent, winning football program at the University of Arizona.
You did talked about Aaron, the new guy, a little bit last time, but what's it been like to work with him for a week plus, and then also having Andrew?
Well, it's been a little, yeah. I mean, I think for Aaron, I think it's been, for him, it's drinking out of a fire hose, right? It's a lot happening in a really short time frame, knowing with the pressure of the portal opening, whatever in a week, or less than a week. So, but he's done a great job. He's been here, working his tail off, and the communication's been really positive. And for us, we get back on the 3rd, and so we're in the process of figuring out, like, okay, what is that going to look like in terms of official visits for us coming out of the bowl game? But the staff has been awesome. Like everybody's all in on that. So it's not, the communication's been really healthy. I think we're going to be really excited about Aaron as we get going here. And then Andrew's great too. Andrew is a really, really sharp young guy, super thorough, really aggressive, going to do a great job, with our evaluation process. And then we need to add a couple pieces there, and that's going to be part of it.
What are your best and worst bowl memories?
That's a good question. My best bowl memory, I think, would be, there's a lot in there. My best memory, when I was a player, and I didn't play very much, but we were playing in the Rose Bowl, and I got to play one play in the game. And at the time, my position coach told me, in pregame, just go out there and go stand on the rows and do a 360 and just see it all, just take it all in. Because it's kind of a different deal, right? Because UCLA's home stadium is the Rose Bowl. But he's like, this is not that. This is something different. And that was a pretty special memory for me.
What year was
That was 94 Rose Bowl. And then the worst one, I don't know if oh gosh, oh yeah, that's a great example. Okay, yes. So we are playing in the Arizona Bowl, San Jose State. We just won the Mountain West. We beat Boise in the championship game, and I met with this leadership council before, and I say, here's the deal, like we can stay in Vegas. I might have to raise a little bit of money, but we can stay here through Christmas and train and get ready for this bowl game. If we win, we play on this date. If we lose, we play on this other date. And one of the players is like, Coach, we're gonna win tomorrow night, but we're going home. They hadn't been home for like 7 months, right? Well, the problem is when they went home, everybody got COVID. And so it was like, my buddy Ben here in the back of the room, he was like, it was wrong. He was like snatching people off the bus because they came back to San Jose and everyone got tested. And so then it was like, well, you're out and you're his roommate, so you're out too. And like there's still contact tracing is all of it. So we left, I think 16 players in San Jose, including our, All-American defensive end, defensive player of the year, Cade Hall. Like we left really good players. We left 6 offensive linemen. And then we get to the game, or we get here and we're at Star Pass, but it's a ghost town. It's still COVID. It's like it's not like there was a bowl experience to it. And we get to the day of the game, and throughout the week, we just had more and more players testing positive. So, and we were trying to not let that be the story. So we didn't talk about the media or anybody. And then we line up on game day. We're missing 30 plus players, and both coordinators, and so we're warming up in what is now Casino del Sol Stadium, and there's 38 minutes on the game clock. And Ben comes up to me and he says, hey, Pima County wants us to test the team right now. Because we had like 5 people pop that day. And I'm like, we're in shoulder pads. Like the game is pretty close, and I'm like, I can't say what I said at the time, but he's like, no, I'm serious. If we don't do it, they're going to cancel the game. And I'm like, okay. So I whistle everybody up. We get up and we walk through the training room, and every person in our organization has to get swabbed, and so yeah, so then we go back and like I felt like that at that moment, like then we were crushed because everybody was already feeling a certain way about all these players and coaches not being able to be a part of the game. So it was already pretty tough. And then when we had to do that, and everyone thought like they might test positive and then have to stay here for a week and just like not try, like it's just like and then we did not play well. We got our tails kicked. So that's a long story, but that's my worst bowl memory.
We have time for one more, guys.
Going back to the Rose Bowl memories, So like, what do you tell the team as they head to San Diego so that they understand to soak in the moment as you soak in the moment?
Yeah, I think this team is really a special group of young men, and I think that's played out over the course of the season, and you've seen that be visible just in how they celebrate with each other and how they enjoy practicing together and how they just enjoy being around each other. And, you know, we've been talking, since we got bowl eligible, we've been talking about this extra life that this team gets by getting to go to a bowl game. And that means this extra time, this special group of people gets to be together. And, you know, we always talk about at the beginning of the year, like so in January, that every football team has a lifespan, you know what I mean? And it's either 11 months or 10 months or 9 months, but, you know, the longer the better, right? And so I think they've done a great job of like enjoying those moments. The stuff that we've done off the field during bowl practice has been really fun and really, really meaningful for us. And so, you know, as we get down there, to me, just helping them try and separate the two things, right? Absolutely enjoy this moment, enjoy this opportunity. You know, there's a bunch of our players who've never been to San Diego, right? So enjoy all the cool stuff that you get to do. But when it's time for football, there's nothing that matters more than that, right? And the most important thing about this experience is us playing good football on Friday night against SMU.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thanks, y'all. Bear down.